Hi, my name is Sumanth Kuduvalli. Welcome to my LifePage. I'm going to talk to you about wildlife filmmaking. Before I start, let me introduce myself to you. So, I started off as a wildlife filmmaker in 2012. Before that, I finished my diploma in wildlife filmmaking and photography from Craft in Delhi. And since then, I worked as a freelancer for 2 years, and then I took up a job with Nikon as a technical associate for Nikon Professional Services in South India. Since 2014, I started working as a freelancer again, and I've been a freelancer ever since. I have worked on many wildlife documentaries, which include documentaries for BBC and National Geographic. Previously, I also worked on a 1-year documentary documenting about 25 different conservation stories that were done in the Western Ghats. So, wildlife filmmaking is about, as the word suggests, it is about filming wildlife. But to it, there is many other things. One is to shoot wildlife films, is to make films about natural history, about animals, about behavior of animals, and about many other different things that the animals do in their natural behavior. But it doesn't just end there. Wildlife filmmaking is also about filming what naturally exists in a given place. It could be human life, which also includes tribals, which includes people who live in the natural form in their natural reserves. There are a couple of institutions that are springing up across the globe. For example, there's an institution in South Africa called Wildlife, and most often people go to learn wildlife filmmaking in New Zealand. The NHNZ is an organization which the New Zealand Natural History Department there gives you courses on wildlife filmmaking, where you can learn wildlife filmmaking, where you're taught how to film wildlife in the wild. These could involve a lot of things. It could start off from being able to do a small research on a given animal and its behavior, which can give you a story which you will want to put as a film, all the way down to fixing your car when you're stuck in a field when you're trying to film something. I became a wildlife filmmaker just because I loved doing wildlife films, just because I wanted to capture the happenings of the natural world. And the biggest positive that I get out of this is the opportunities that one seems to have. It's endless. The biggest challenge one would face is the financial aspect of filmmaking. Though it is a very expensive hobby to pick up, as people would say, making it a profession is altogether another thing. And one would realize that if you were to pick this up as a profession, you would have to pick this up because you're really passionate about doing it. It's because the money bit in the wildlife filmmaking is not a very exciting one. I would want to give you an example of what a day goes by in my life. And I want to tell a small story of what I just did before I came here. I went to this place called Cable Lamjaw in Manipur. This is a place where you can find one of the most elusive and the most rare species of deer, the brow antler deer, which is called the sangai in Manipur. The sangai has never been filmed before. It has never been photographed before. So the animals are really, really shy, and they will never come anywhere close to a human being, yes. So, I spent 15 days of my stay in Manipur filming these animals. And these animals are found in a place called Cable Lamjaw, which is the only floating national park in the world. Access to these places through canoes. So, I had one person take me in a canoe and drop me off to a place where I had to film these animals sitting in a hide. I would sit about 10 hours a day filming these animals, and the animals would come out for half an hour in a day. So the rest 9.5 hours of the day, I would just spend sitting looking at grass, looking at birds, looking at clouds, sometimes looking at nothing, sometimes singing songs to myself, sometimes telling stories, sometimes hallucinating. And then, out of nowhere, the deer would just jump out of the grass, and then I had to be ready to film this. So it meant I had to be prepared mentally, I had to be prepared physically, I had to be prepared in terms of equipment. to be able to understand equipment, how it works and how they go about, and to be able to adjust to these things. There are times when you're left in this place and your camera stops working. It happened to me. It's frustrating. And the only other thing I could do was to look at the other camera, which was recording me, and talk to it. Vent out my frustration on the camera. It was more like Castaway. I had my Wilson, I was Tom Hanks. That's my typical day as a wildlife cameraman. To come to the very end, I hope I have been able to throw light on many different aspects of wildlife filmmaking. I've been able to give you a very balanced view about wildlife filmmaking. Thank you very much.